I just want to do another quick update on the Dow. I was asked, got some great comments and had some good questions from folks that were interested in seeing what was going on with the Algo optimizer. What exactly is it? Well, first off, what it is it allows us to have multiple functions on pre-settings that we've created. And just so that you know, this is the mini Dow. This is the person Algo system optimizer, and this trades same thing, 340, 230. We say only trade a position side of two contracts. Now we can increase that as time goes by. This month has been pretty decent, as you know, with the margin requirement on the mini Dow contracts. This particular model only takes trades from 3:40 a.m. to 2:30 in the afternoon. But if it's in a trade between those two time frames, it'll hold it through the nighttime. There is, of course, a mitigating factor where we have a holding period. So there's a lot that goes in there between calibrating, optimizing, finding out the best time to trade, for example. And not all of these time frames, usually the European session, in past times we've had some good trades. As you can see here, a small loser, a long. It went short, took a loss, went long, went short. And if you notice here what happens, we also have a feature where we have a trailing stop feature and a profit target. So here, the profit target was hit, and then the very next bar, instead of the market going down, if it continued to go down, it would have trailed the stop and allowed it to participate in the move. As it is, it got out of the trade. Currently, it did something to most of our amazements. If we're all looking for, I don't would say everybody, but a lot of folks are looking for the market to reverse to the downside. I mean, when you have a market that has poor volume and the breadth starts to decay, the advanced decline that is, starts to decay, you would expect to see maybe some day that there might be more than just a 100-point decline in the Dow. But here's a situation where currently it reversed and went long the market and is still long the position. How is this done over the last couple days? Well, many of you probably noticed that yesterday we had a nice little trade in the market and had two-sided trading. It's kind of ironic that while it did have some overnight action, once again, because it trades from 3:40 in the morning, sometimes it doesn't do well, and again, it goes long. It went short yesterday, and I know it missed a little bit of a short there. It covered its position on a trailing stop feature, and then it just chopped around, and then it got outside of its parameter of going short down there. But it picked up a long position, and as you will see, what happened as I put this back into focus, it held the long position into the night session. Here's the long position. And as you see where it says max bar, it exited out on a max bar. So, I mean, holding it overnight is between the Eastern Standard Time, 5 to 6 p.m. time frame. And then in Central Time or Exchange Time, because this is Chicago, the exchange in Chicago, would be, of course, 4 to 5 p.m. So you have that 1 hour of risk of holding a position. But if you're in a position of profits, I mean, I think it's okay to hold the position. Again, you can see multiple times where it gets short and it does the same thing. It gives you a trailing stop feature. It takes the profit. Here's where it did go long the market. It had a profit and gave a slight profit back. As you can see, the open trade equity in the market, which is the fuchsia color, versus the green, which is the closed-end profit. And you can see there was a difference between open and closed, right? But the performance has been pretty decent throughout the month. Again, this is a 5-minute model, and I think it definitely is something that has helped not only our trading community and our trading room, but also it's just done an incredible job. I mean, right now it's at a new equity high again, and as you can see from the overall day-to-day performance, not every day was profitable. Lost 65, lost 300, lost 60, lost 500, didn't trade on Martin Luther King Day holiday, and yet it's provided a decent rate of return based on a two-lot position. If you notice here, it's profit factor, and I'm sure people can develop better systems, but the bottom line is this is pretty good, folks, because I think if anyone had a $12,000 account and could turn it every month into 14,165, we would all be sitting here going like, wow, ATM machine, why are we doing 2 lots? Let's do 100 lots, right? Well, this has been a very unusual month, number one. So, until we get more consistency of volatility like we have right now. Remember, back last October, we had average true range of like 9 points in the S&Ps. Now we're back up to 22 points. So we've more than doubled the expansion of what the daily trading ranges are, and we have a little bit of volatility in the market, which is nice. So a day trading system, you need the market to go up and down. It gets long, it gets out, it might take a loser, it gets out, and it'll catch a ride in a wave. And that's what this thing has done. So every single day you could clearly see it. Profit factor is pretty decent, and it's done a very nice job. But I just thought I'd give you an update because we didn't want to say, hey, how did it perform yesterday with the volatile day, and how's it doing today with the choppy day? And as you can see, it is still long 2 positions. Let's see how this exits out the trade. I would probably guess it's not going to end on the very high note because it will stop out and trail out either on 2 functions, on a reverse signal, max bars, which it's nowhere near, and again, it will at least protect the profit that it's in. But the equity curve has been pretty decent for this month, and this is the same mini Dow contract system that I've been following up with everybody. So let's see what happens to this trade where it exits. Just expanded this up a little bit so that you can see this is the entry, and this just tells you that it is long 2 contracts, and if it was short, the equity curve would be going down, not up. Currently, you can see the white lines in the sand are my proprietary or my last conditional change support values, and the market right now is still holding these support values. And you wouldn't go short from a discretionary standpoint. I mean, if the market breaks out of a resistance, you should see some upside. But, how one never knows if there's more upside, if we're going to take out this high, if there's buy stops further to the upside, or if maybe this is it. But, in the concept of having a mechanical system, an automated trading system, it just follows the rules versus sometimes our discretionary input thinking, oh, it can't do this or it will do this. We try to outsmart the market. I just let this thing run. Anyway, still long the market, and it's holding support here. So I'm just going to expand this out, and we can examine the results in a few minutes. But what we would look for, I mean, it's kind of wild to think that we get a market that has a downturn and then an upturn. We have it in a little bit of choppiness in between. And it did hold its own. And one of the reasons I think is very important is that in my second book I wrote about now 14 years ago was this concept of the last conditional change. It never closed below a last conditional change. So the dynamics of the buy signal were not changed. So as you can see, we just did the same thing over here. It just dipped underneath the support, but never closed below the support. So the integrity of the trend is still positive, and thus the position is still long. Okay, so I told you we're going to just update this and see how it all works. So as you can see, the time elapsed has gone by. I mean, it's just like tick, 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 tick from the time we're looking over here, and just the position is just doing nothing. But obviously, our open trade equity is pretty positive. Now, there's a couple things that I can do. I can override the system right now, which is kind of cool. If that was a choice, or more importantly, another thing is that people can utilize this as an indicator and use it maybe not to auto trade, but use it for confirmation in their own discretionary trades. If you see the system going long and you're about ready to sell the rally and think the market's going to go down, think twice until maybe the system's long is stopped out or if the system goes short. Like over here, the position is long, right? And then it reverses the long and goes short. So if you were thinking of going short too early, wait. And if the system is in a position, why not wait, right? So this is a long position. A long position. It was long. Blue line means it makes money. Blue line, make money, right? So the moral of the story is one can utilize this to say, hey, maybe I shouldn't go short yet until the system exits a long position and goes short. So if it was in a long position, you can use this for two reasons. Discretionary trade, you can use it as an indicator, or you can auto trade it. Right now, currently, no reason to be actually short the market at all. The market's still in a very strong uptrend. We just created a newer last conditional change, which just populated on the chart, and you can see it right here. So the market's going to need to do some type of action or negative reversal in order to enact this strategy to exit. Okay? I have here on the screen the performance. I mean, 1 month does not define a system, but this was a very extraordinary month, and things are going to change. As I shared a little bit about the system, and we can optimize certain trading times. Remember, last year there was a lot of activity going in the market before and right in the European session. And then when we walk into the U.S. session, nothing was happening. So we can optimize and find out the best trading times. And what we want to do is maintain a system at least once a month. You've got different changes that occur when we get rollover. So when we go from a DECE contract to a March contract, when we get that rollover, that's going to maybe wreak havoc. So we're going to have to maintain the system and watch for changes in average true range or volatility. So with that said, at this point, notice that we were just getting, there was a little red arrow here, which is a PPS sell signal, and one just flashed, it just disappeared, but one was flashing up here. The system is indifferent of those kind of PPS signals, by the way. So just kind of point out to you that there are some different algos or criterias that that have gone into this person optimizer, and there it is. We just, as you can see, have just exited. It was long too short. Now it just reversed positions. I mean, so here we are from an actual, and as I pointed out, it could trail the stop or it could reverse. And in this case, it reversed. And one of the reasons it reversed is because we had a close, a sell signal breakdown, and so now it is reversed. So hopefully it knows what it's doing, more so than I. We have a brand new equity high. So, I mean, for the month, this is just a phenomenal occurrence in the marketplace. Yes, it's off its peak high, but that's to be expected. Most systems, this is almost parabolic for a 1 month, 5-minute trading system, but pretty decent, as you can see how. And I just wanted to share with you when it was going to and how it would start to work, and there it is. So for those interested, this is the person's planet. Most of you have seen the website, but if you're interested in the TradeStation version of the Person Algo Optimizer, certainly give us an email. We'll help you out and answer more questions. Thank you.